Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Good evening. This is JD with Farmhouse Realty.
Hey everyone, I'm Carrie Berryhill with Farmhouse Realty. We're going to do another kind of a quick question and answer with you guys tonight, but we do have a topic that came in from our last live. Someone asked us,
What do we need to do to get our home ready to go on the market? Well, that depends on your home. And I'll let my wife start it off tonight. She's we're just gonna let her start it off tonight.
okay, all right. So some tips that you can do. Everybody kind of asks the same thing.
Yeah.
How much do I need to spend on my house in order to get my house ready to hit the market? It honestly, like JD says, it kind of depends. There's a lot of factors. We're going to start with something that doesn't cost a lot of money, and the very first thing we tell people is declutter. Decluttering your house is probably one of the best tips that we can give you guys. We tell people if you can live without it for 3 months, for 6 months, if it's something you don't use, take it out of your living room, take it out of your kitchen, go ahead and pack it up and try to get rid of it. But I'm going to say decluttering is going to be one of the most important things that you can do.
Another rule of thumb on that is if you haven't touched it in 3 to 6 months, do you really need it out anyway?
Yeah.
So it's just one of the things. We were actually showing homes today, and it's the first thing that you looked in. She kept saying the house was really small and confined. It just needed to be decluttered. It was actually a big home. They just had a lot of furniture and a lot of stuff in there.
And some people ask, well, what do you consider decluttering? Like JD said, one of the homes that we showed today, they just had big pieces.
Yep.
I mean,
beautiful.
The couches were big. The armoires were big. They had hutches that were big. They had just, like sitting chairs, just big, massive pieces. And it does make your house look small when you have such big pieces. So if you can get rid of furniture in your room, if you don't need a couch, a love seat, and a recliner, if it's too cramped, or you don't need all that stuff. Furniture, your big pieces, I would start with.
Yeah, and it could be as easy as putting them in the garage if you've got room for it. Just so the new buyer or the potential buyer can see how big that room actually is.
And the other thing as far as decluttering is going to be your little knickknacks. I know we all decorate and we're in our own home tonight, and I'm looking around and everything that you set out on your kitchen table that you decorate with, things that are on your china cabinet, things that are on your shelves. Yes, a lot of the knickknacks are cute and all that stuff, but when you're listing your home for sale, less is more. If you can kind of go through, if you've got a shelf with 10 items, see if you can scale that down to half. Can you take half the items off the shelf and make it look not so decluttered?
I guess the other thing is obviously we want to know how much money to spend when we're doing this. Is that ROI there? So is your return there on what you're going to put into the house? Obviously, touching up, fresh coats of paint, whatever it might be, making the house smell like it's been repainted. All these are little small things that you've probably already got if you built a house, or maybe if you repainted earlier in life. You still may have some of that to touch up the corner nicks and stuff. Them are all simple things that really don't cost a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of people will ask us about painting. Do you think that we need to paint the inside or the outside of our house? And again, it's up to you. It's budget friendly. If you have the money and you are financially able to paint your house before you list it on the market and it needs it, a fresh coat of paint makes a living room and a kitchen and a hallway with kids go a long way. It makes it look good. So yes, if you have the money, if you have the time and you're willing and you want to do it, absolutely.
Yep.
If you don't, if it's something that's not in your budget and you're like, we can't afford to paint, here's something that you can do. You could possibly save it. And maybe if the buyer says, oh my gosh, we love this house, but it definitely needs a good painting on the outside and the inside, and that's the reason why the buyers aren't making an offer, let's go in and give them a paint allowance.
Yep.
What would it have cost you depending on square footage of your house? Maybe it cost you $1,000 to paint your house. Okay, well, if you don't have the money now, then let's maybe give the buyers a credit. We could give them $1,000 credit, and that way the buyer gets to pick out, their beautiful colors they want for the inside or the outside.
Right.
So, it's something that you don't have to do up front, but painting is always another one that's going to help.
It's going to help. I think another one that's really easy to make work is curb appeal. Mulch is $10 a bag. It doesn't take a lot to fill up some of your flower beds and make it look pretty and fresh on the outside on the walk up. And there's so many things, and I'll be honest with you, there are great landscaping companies out there that will come out, and you can just tell them, hey, this is what I'm needing to get done. They can probably work you a pretty good deal on getting some landscaping done just for what you're wanting to do is sell your home. But mulch is cheap, and it's an easy cut the bag, throw it in there, spread it around just to make the curb appeal be there.
Yeah, and sometimes we all live, busy lives with kids and everything else and on the go. So if it's just a matter of your flower beds are overgrown and you're like, well, should I leave them overgrown or should I work on them? Take a Saturday and work on them. Flower beds are probably one of the most inexpensive things you could do. Spend that Saturday before you list your home. Go out there, pull all the weeds, get all the weeds. If you have, dead rose bushes or dead bushes, chop those off. Go to Home Depot and get you some.
You got kids. I mean, I'm just
free,
saying.
Free labor.
We're talking about free labor here. I mean, get them kids out there and help you.
Yeah.
Or maybe go down to the local high school. Them high school kids might need a few hours in the afternoon. And I bet you that'd be cheap enough to get your flower beds done.
Yeah, I mean, any of your nurseries, your local nurseries you could support, Home Depot and Lowe's and things like that. A lot of counties have gardener clubs, and a lot of times the gardener clubs, they'll have a spring sale or a fall sale or something like that. But definitely people ask, well, do you think I should clean them off flower beds? Yes, because that's the first impression people are going to see. Yep. They may not see the house. Let's just say they're scheduled to see the house on a Saturday at 2 o'clock with their agent. They've already drove by. I promise you they've already drove by. And when you get those drive-bys, and if the outside looks neglected with the overgrown flower beds, your outside's not painting, it makes buyers think, well, what does the inside of the house look like if they've not upkept the outside? So curb appeal is going to be their very first impression. And things on the outside of the house, same thing. If you live in a subdivision, you don't have to worry about this. But where we live at, everybody kind of here in our community, most of us live on land and most of us have gates. If your gate's not working, if it's an automatic gate and it's not working, things like that around your gate, you can kind of talk more about that, making sure that those items are working.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, most of them gate openers out there, they're pretty easy to fix. It's the maintenance on them to keeping them running. Is the breakdown side of it, and a lot of times they don't break down; they're seized up. Sometimes the electrical goes out on them. I'm not saying they're all great, but there are a lot of good ones out there. But there are people out there that can help with them gate openers and get them functioning again. Because if the new or potential buyer pulling in the driveway sees a broke down gate every time they come over there or they drive by, that's one of the pieces of the puzzle that they're thinking, is the inside of the house going to look like this? Obviously, not everybody's looking at the gate, but it's just the little things to bring them in to make them look at the house.
And also, the people that live in the subdivision or maybe don't have a fence or something around the property. Something else to think about is your front door. If your front door is if the sun sets on your front door and maybe you have a wooden door and the stain has faded, that's something you can do in no time. You can go and get you a can of stain and re-stain that door and seal it and all that good stuff, but also the same thing as the front door. Make sure
I'm going to go back to the free labor. If you got kids, I mean, once again,
or
give them a brush.
JD, who stains your front doors?
My wife did.
I do. I stain our front doors. Yeah, so I mean that's...
They need to be done again, by the way.
Okay, I'll get right on that, sir. I'll hop right on that.
Can you get started? It's cooler at night.
It's cooler at night. It's not 120 anymore.
Yeah, it's not 120.
So definitely think things like that. The first thing someone's going to see is your gate, is your driveway. Then they're going to see the curb appeal, the landscaping. Then they're going to go to your front door is going to be next. So all along the way, look at those things. And again, we're not talking hundreds and thousands of dollars. You try to do what you have that's budget friendly for you to get the outside of your property ready to list.
And we'll jump back on the inside real quick. Carpets. Brookshire still rents the carpet cleaners. You could go down and rent a carpet cleaner. There's so many different things that you can do of getting your house ready to sell. That is budget friendly. I think that's the easiest way to put it. That is budget friendly because there's a return on that, whether you realize it or not. Yes, you might be putting in some hard labor to do it, or maybe a few dollars to do it. But your return on your investment is bringing them buyers in, and your potential buyers being able to say, "This is the house for me," and a lot of people cannot see past clutter, dirty carpets, broken gates. They have to be visibly shown to them, this is what it can look like, to make it look better. If they can get past that, then they can get to that offer phase, and that's what you're looking for. So, like I said, budget friendly. There's so many different ways and so many different things you can do. If you need help with any of that, obviously give us a call. Maybe we can turn you on to the labor side of that or the part side of that or whatever you might be needing. We've got plenty of friends and family out there that do that stuff as well, and we can get you hooked up with that.
One of the biggest questions that we have are countertops in the kitchen. I have the old Formica style countertops. Should I spend the money and get, marble, or should I spend the money and get granite? And that's going to be on a case by case basis. That's something that JD said. Let us come out and look at the rest of your house before you go and spend that kind of money. Is your return on investment going to be there?
Right.
Depends.
Spending that
depends.
kind of money when we didn't paint and we didn't clean up the brick on the outside, you need to be able to make that flow properly. If you're going to do things like that, why not just give a credit on something for something like that if somebody is wanting that. So there's little things to go with that that we can help you with as well. And obviously we don't know all the answers. We don't know all the questions. Speaking of, I haven't seen nobody ask a question tonight.
No, I have questions, throw them out there. Something that I want to touch on that can be kind of a touchy subject, and sometimes agents are afraid that they're going to hurt sellers' feelings, is smells. There's all different kinds of smells that go along with getting your house ready. If someone has a cat in their house or a dog in their house, you're probably pretty good. We all have animals in our house. If you have more than that, or you don't actively clean up after your animals, we were out showing houses all day long, and one of the feedbacks from the buyers that we were showing today was, oh my goodness, this house smells like dog and cat.
I had one smelled like cigarette smoke.
Yes. So be conscious of the odors. You become stagnant to it where you can't smell it.
Yep.
But most definitely the odors in your house, and like JD said, cigarette smoke. A lot of people smoke in their house. You get used to the smell and you can't smell it. A lot of time cooking. When you cook certain items in your house, you can smell it when you walk into a house very strongly. So always kind of remember the odors. Even if you don't smell it, have somebody come over. Ask your neighbor to come over and say, hey, be honest with me. When you're in my house, can you smell this? Does it smell like dogs? Can you tell that I smoke? I know someone who smokes probably a pack a day, and you go into their house, never know it. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways and things that you can do to kind of help combat odor. And if you've got a good agent, ask them. Say, hey, when y'all were walking around my house, did you smell anything? We're going to be honest. We're not going to lie and say, no, we didn't smell anything. If we smell dog and cat, I'm going to tell you, you can definitely smell your dogs, or you can definitely smell your dinner from last night. I can smell your fried fish.
And we're saying this not to be mean. We're just
the end goal is to help your house.
The end goal is to sell the home. So in the end, the more that you know now, the more that you'll be ready for some of the feedback that you might be getting as well. Because sometimes people say harsh things. They say things that may hurt your feelings.
Buyers do.
Buyers
are brutally honest.
Some of the sellers are the same. So so it's okay. I think everybody's different. That's the easiest way to put it, and that's what makes this world go around.
Yeah. A couple of things we can touch base on too are just maintenance things. So one thing that's very, very easy, and it also helps in pictures, is going to be your light bulbs. Light bulbs are so easy. When you're getting your house ready to hit the market, go in every room and make, they don't even have to match. I don't care if they match. Make sure every light bulb works. If you have a ceiling fan with 4 lights or 5 lights, make sure every single one of those lights work. Same thing with the bathroom. When you've got all those bulbs in the bathroom, again, it kind of looks like that's an easy fix. These sellers have neglected their house. They're not changing out their light bulbs. Easy, budget-friendly thing to do.
Very budget-friendly.
Make sure every light bulb in your house.
They're pretty expensive nowadays.
LEDs and all that stuff. But make sure, light bulbs is easy. It's one of those, like today, again, going into a bedroom and turning on the light, we're like, oh, sorry, the light bulb's out. Well, the light's out and it kind of makes the room look dark. So that's something easy. Every room, every light bulb needs to be functioning. That's a kind of a maintenance thing that you can do that's easy.
And there is another maintenance thing on top of it that makes it really easy for you to do. Clean your vents and change your air filter. Notice today had a whistling sound. I just so happened to look up. The filter was collapsed. It had done sucked it in just because it needed to be changed. There's nothing wrong. It felt nice and cool in there. Everything was functioning properly. But once again, these are the easy things, depending on what filter system or what AC system you have. Some of them can go up to 3 months. Some of them can go up to 30 days that they need to be changed, especially in the dusty heat that we're in right now. But that's just another one of those budget-friendly things that can be done. It's going to get caught on an inspection anyway, so go ahead and do it right now.
Yeah, and it also helps your AC run smoother.
Yep, more efficient.
More maintenance things that you could help get your house ready for the market is going to be leaks. Whether you have a sink leak, a shower leak, a bathtub leak, an outside hose bib leak, if you have anything that's dripping, a constant steady stream, same thing, it puts that thought in the buyer's, head, again, this house isn't maintained. So go through and make sure that, your leaks are taken care of.
Your leaks are taken care of. Trip hazards outside, where people can walk up and if you have something beautiful outside, like whether it's a water fountain, or whatever it might be, maybe a koi pond, clean it. Make sure it's all dolled up. Them are the things that you want to show off for your house to help sell your home.
No, absolutely.
So most of that stuff is budget friendly. Now, don't get me wrong. There are things that need to be done sometimes on some of these homes that, yes, we need to talk about it. There's holes in the walls. You had an adult son that just hit the walls, whatever it might have been. These are the things that probably need to be repaired. We need to get a repairman in there. And honestly, them are budget-friendly things that still need to be done. But it's going to help your home show better.
Oh, absolutely. Windows. Windows is another one that we get asked a lot. Again, it depends on your budget. If you financially have the money, and there's two types of windows that we're going to be talking about. So if your window is just flat out cracked, you were out mowing, a rock was underneath the lawnmower, hit the window and shattered the window, do I need to replace it? Yes. That doesn't matter 100%. If you have a cracked, busted window, go ahead and replace it. For, like JD said earlier on the other instance, it's going to get caught on an inspection report, and they're going to say something.
Yeah.
But also depending on that lender, if it's a veteran, someone who served our country,
and they're getting a VA loan.
They're getting their VA loan, or if someone's getting an FHA loan, those are considered safety hazards because of the condition of the glass. So
now let's be clear. Once again, they may not get caught.
They have a strong possibility of getting caught through the lender, and that's a lender required repair, which means the lender is going to say, hey guys, we can't give this money to the buyer until you fix this safety hazard. So broken windows, 100%, you need to fix it. The other possibility about the windows are the seals. We saw this a lot today, are the seals. You have a pane here and a pane here, and that seal, that gas has leaked out, and now you've got condensation between your window. Now, is that a safety hazard? Absolutely not. No. It's not a requirement most of the time. There's always a chance. It's not a requirement on FHA or VA loans, but an inspector is going to note it. He is going to note that, because he is only noting things that are wrong, he's noting things that are deficient. So he's going to say that yes, these windows are functioning by keeping wind and rain out of your home, but they are still, they're still defective because the sill is broken. Now you have condensation. So should you go and get brand new windows in your house? Financially, if you can afford to do it, go ahead and do it. And that's just a marketing tool that we can say to the buyers, brand new windows throughout the whole entire house. If you don't have the money, because windows are highly expensive, if you don't have the money, again, let's save it. If those buyers say something, if those buyers say, we love this house, but every single window in this house needs to be replaced because the sill's broke, okay, well, let's give a credit. Let's go get, 3 or 4 quotes from all different, window companies, have them come out, let's quote it, and then maybe we negotiate with that buyer to give them a credit to have the windows done. Yeah,
and one thing I want to be clear of, we give the budget-friendly information here to help the sellers get ready to sell, but in the end, sometimes there's not time nor budget involved. So it takes us coming out and taking a look at the home, and there may be certain aspects of the way we need to market it to sell that home because you already moved out of state because of your new job, or your husband has moved out of state and you just can't do it yourself. So just remember, even though we talk about budget friendly things and you can't, there may be a possibility that you can't get none of them done. Give us a call. Maybe there's ways that we can help, or there's ways that we can market it to sell it, to get that home ready to sell.
No, absolutely. And if you guys have any questions, if you're thinking about listing your house, if you're thinking about listing your land and you have questions, you're like, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? Ask them on here. And if you're getting really serious, like JD said, you're getting really serious about listing here, very soon, call us, let us come out. And like I said, that's one of the things that we offer. We're not going to go through and we're not going to say replace. We're not about that. We're going to sit down and talk to you and say, okay, what is your budget? Some people say, Carrie, I'm ready to have my house on the market. I have $250. What can I do? Where is my $250 best spent? We have other people that say, I'm getting ready to put my house on the market. I have $10,000. Where's my $10,000 best spent? So it all depends on your budget. Don't think.
It depends on your home.
And it depends on your home, yeah, and location, all that. So don't think that, oh my gosh, I can't list my house for sale because I'm going to have to shell out thousands. Absolutely not. But you don't have to. We're just trying to tell you, some little tips and tricks, that are budget friendly, that is going to make, a difference, and the biggest bang for your buck, basically. Yeah,
and like I said, the tips are great, but getting your house ready to sell. But if you're getting ready to buy, give us a call. It's one of the things that we can still look at.
We have a complete buyer's guide too that helps you kind of let you know what you need to do in order to get ready to buy.
If you're looking for a new home, guess what? We got some brand new builds in Canton. Also, that builder can build on your land. Just need to sit down with him and go through it, and we can get you in contact with them as well.
One thing we didn't talk about really quick, because I know we're going to wrap up. One thing that is easy to do is cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's definition of cleaning their home and getting their home ready for the market is different. What some people consider spick and span and absolutely spotless, to some people would absolutely gross them
That's
out.
Like your kids. Like my kids, night and day. I just want to be clear. One, that's fine. It's not fine. The other one, it has to be done. Yeah, I've got them too.
But not only that, okay, so same thing again with budget. If you don't have the budget, clean your house yourself. Clean it. And if you think it's clean it again. I mean, that's the best way. If you have the money, hire a professional to come in. Let them know, hey, I'm getting ready to list my house. I want it clean. And you think that buyers are not going to notice? Oh, buyers are going to look. They notice. Look at that ceiling fan. There's an inch of dust on that ceiling fan.
We'll point it out.
Yes, look behind the toilet. Look at this. Look at the baseboards. Look at the windows. The windows have never been clean. And if you don't think buyers don't open up your kitchen cabinets, your pantries, and your drawers, they do. Buyers want to look and they want to see. So if
they want to see everything. They're wanting that house for themselves. They're going to make it for their family, So they want to see where they can put all their stuff at.
Absolutely. And as a seller, we tell our sellers, we know that life gets busy, and I'm not saying you have to live in a magazine perfect house. I'm not saying that. I understand that you had 5 kids and we were trying to get out the door and get backpacks and lunches, and I have a sink full of dishes today, and guess what? I have 3 showings today. That's okay.
They'll understand that.
They'll understand. We know life happens. We are, as agents, we never ask you to have your house magazine ready at all times.
But we do.
Especially, for pictures. On picture day, that's one thing. When it's pictures and we come over, I don't want to see 20 piles of laundry on your couch and a sink full of dishes and none of the beds are made and the toilets are nasty and the sink's nasty. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You can clean for free. You can go down and get you a 99-cent bottle of Lysol and clean your house and mop. But you know what I'm talking about, especially on picture day. On picture day, because that's how do people see your house for the first time? Pictures, Facebook pictures, internet pictures, website pictures, the MLS pictures. So you can clean that way first on picture day and have it spotless. And then when you have your showings, obviously we try to ask you to get your house as clean as possible. But again, if you're running out the door, that's one thing. But cleaning is another thing that helps get your house ready for the market too.
Well, I think that we're going to let y'all go tonight. I see some people that has asked a few questions. We will get to them questions. We'll try to fit them in throughout the next few weeks as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And try to get them in. I saw a few of our clients on there tonight. Thank you for jumping on and watching our video tonight.
If you know anybody that is getting ready to list their house or possibly getting ready to list their land and you think that this video is going to be helpful to them, we absolutely ask you to do 3 things for our post. Number 1, we ask you to like, heart it, laugh at it, whatever you want to do. Hit that emoji button, comment on it, make a comment, ask us how we're doing. And then the best thing that you guys can do is to share this post. So especially if you know someone's getting ready to list, absolutely share this post with your family and friends. We appreciate that big time.
Yep.
And like JD said, if you have questions, we got a lot of messages from our last Facebook Live that we did. Send us a message and say, hey, I'm really interested in this topic. On your next Facebook Live this week or next week, can you cover this? 100%. Keep them coming in.
Yep.
JD, now we've started a list of questions, and we're going to try to go through the questions as they come in and start tackling them on our
We
lives.
try to go through the questions the best we can. We try to run through them and give our best opinion of everything and what we've seen in the past. Them are the things that we try to do. If there's facts about it, we'll try to make them facts. We'll try to put them facts out there on our Facebook page so you can see them if it's something factual. But in the end, we do appreciate all of our clientele getting on and watching us, and everybody else out there taking a look. And if y'all got any questions, give us a call at Farmhouse Realty and see if we can get these questions answered for you.
Hey, what's the phone number at Farmhouse Realty?
Well, there's a many phone numbers.
What's the office phone number, sir?
It's going to be 972-486-3434, or you can call the best agent here, 214-549-0354. So once again, thank y'all for watching us tonight. Y'all have a good evening.
Absolutely.
Bye.
See you next time, guys.